Finding links between Nosferatu and Schiaparelli was not on my 2025 bingo card, yet here we are, reminded by Daniel Roseberry that machines can never make art because they can never be horny. Schiaparelli shows are always a delightful treasure hunt for vintage references, but amongst the usual suspects were some very unexpected nods to the Baroque era. The wide off-shoulder necklines, unstructured bodices, embellished in beading, brocade, and velvet were very reminiscent of mid to late 17th century fashion. And if these styles feel strangely familiar to you, it's because the period influenced 1830s fashions, which you'll have seen in Nosferatu and see much more of with the upcoming release of romantic Gothic cinema like Frankenstein and Wuthering Heights later this year. Once more, we have revealing wide off-shoulder necklines, larger-than-life sleeves, and very full skirts. Baroque art and design was dramatic and ornate, a reaction to Protestant values and the control and balance of the Renaissance era. A call to sensuality, if you will. I mean, just look at how revealing some of these portraits are. Following suit, romantic philosophy embraced emotion, the inner world, and a return to nature, particularly in response to the Industrial Revolution. Roseberry's show notes even read like a romantic manifesto where he asks, has our fixation on what looks or feel modern become a limitation? Has it cost us our imagination? On the other hand, this collection is also about escapism, which at first glance echoes the nostalgia and yearning for the good old days we see in tandem with the rise of conservative and fascist rhetoric. It's easy to mistake Schiaparelli's 30s and 50s references as fitting into the hyper-femininity archetypes cherished by people who idolize the time when men were men and women look like women. In the historical costuming community, there's an adage for this: vintage style, not vintage values. It's a necessary separation of the aesthetics of a time from the accepted beliefs and practices, particularly because, as you'd expect, being into Civil War dress or Victorian ball gowns attracts some real freaks, derogatory. And while there are people who hide their bigotry behind simply liking a style, I think that when most people idealize the 50s or cottagecore, it's not because they actually want to go back in time, but because they're simply starved for beauty and glamour.